he's worked hard for this moment, you know, since I've known him, he's wanted to go pro. He's put all the effort in, he's put the work in, he's done everything we've asked of him, he's took on every challenge. So now it's just about time to let it all go, and you know, there's no pressure on him next week. He's always had this goal of becoming a professional fighter, and next week he gets to embrace that and do that. So it's just about enjoying that moment that he's earned. And like I said, no doubting his ability next week and his ability as he moves on throughout being a pro. So next week's it's about just ticking that goal off and appreciating every second of it and embracing it and enjoying it, and then going out and letting Dan Hughes fight like Dan Hughes does.
This is all the gear, no idea, because I ain't going to land anything with these on. Need my helmet and rollerblades.
He's trained like a pro anyway, so there's not much that has to change in terms of training. Obviously drilling some elbows and stuff for the different rule sets, but as for like his commitment and preparation, all the same. Obviously he's going down a bit lower, and I look to eventually get to 61. This fight's at 64, but the rest is pretty much the same.
Right, I guess the initial first thing to do is introduce yourself to the camera.
I'm Daniel Hughes. I am a now pro fighter fighting out of IPC Wrexham. Simple as that, really. So going into the unknown is always going to be a nerve-wracking thing. But for us here, we train like professionals every single day. Every single opponent I faced has either been a champion or fought for a championship, and 8 out of 10 of them are now pro. So I fought the best level in the UK. I've challenged myself to fight the best fighters. That is going to be a testament when I make my pro debut. I'm one of the best in the UK, and by the time I'm done, I'm going to be one of the best in the world.
Dan's skill set has developed dramatically since I started training at the gym, especially the past like 12 to 18 months. If you look at his amateur record and the people he's fought, you can tell he's up there now with lads who are doing well at professional. It was just about like adding some things to his game inside and outside of the gym and looking to help him progress in that way. And he's done everything I've asked of him, and he's just made sure that he's committed to it. You know, he's a dedicated athlete. He travels like 90 minutes to train here, whether it's on the train, in the car, journey, and it's just been like a pleasure watching him progress now into a professional athlete.
There's small changes, there's elbows, there's knees, and there's twisting leg locks, but you know, I don't think they're as high percentage as head kicks, hooks, double legs, arm bars, rear naked chokes. I think I've got 9 out of 10 of the steps of the way there. Now it's just adjusting to longer rounds. Maybe the fact that you can use elbows and twisting leg locks, and maybe the gloves are smaller, but believe me, that favours me. That favours me with my knees and my elbows and my kicks. I'm going to be putting some people a kid. I can promise you that.
Dan's been a great addition to this team, not only just as a fighter, but also his attitude is infectious. Like we said, that how much he's travelling. If you ask him to do something, he's willing to do it. They've got like a good group around their weight now, which I feel are all helping each other level up and push each other and challenge each other.
Since joining R&AB, not only has my technical knowledge developed, I think I speak about this quite a bit, my technical knowledge has developed tenfold, but my like mental knowledge of the game. So I first started training under Gaz Stallman. He's the owner of The Pound. He made The Pound way back in 2006, when it used to just be a gym for doormen to train so they could learn how to defend themselves. I went to The Pound, I was 16 stone, no interest in fighting, I just wanted to learn how to defend myself and maybe get into like a positive life habit. And he opened the door, showed me the love for jiu-jitsu, striking, MMA. And he was a pro. We didn't get very far in the pro scene, but he lit that fire underneath me. So I always respect him for that. I definitely feel like I've surpassed in terms of MMA knowledge, but that's because of him, not in spite of him. Like, he spent 26 years training MMA, And I've gotten that in 3 years, and now I'm using his shoulders to climb higher. So if I talk about my roots, it's definitely Gaz Stallman and my good friend Nathan Lambert, who now trains in Subzone.
Being a coach at his gym at the Pound MMA, he brings that coaching aspect as well to the team, and the ability to like help give the others advice, talk about his experiences, and also he's brought guys from his gym down who've become part of this team as well. So you know, he's been a great addition to the team. Common
stigma with men, don't want to talk about things because it doesn't help, and people say it does, and you don't want to talk to them because it's embarrassing. And you don't even know why half the time. You don't even know what you're feeling, so how can you describe to someone else? When I started MMA, training any kind of martial arts, jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, for that hour session, I wasn't thinking about my finances, I wasn't thinking about my upbringing, I wasn't thinking about my mental health, I wasn't thinking about how I'm going to pay my bills, I wasn't thinking about work the next day. All those things was about breathing in, breathing out, keeping my hands up. A mind space or a head space like that, people revert to drugs for that. That's how powerful that feeling is. People get that from therapists, people pay for that. People ruin their life for that or crave that their entire life. And the real world is you're going to work from 9 till 5 until you're 80. If you live that long, then you enjoy your retirement when you're least able to. That's a sad reality. And it hits everyone, every single person. They'll find an output for it, whether it be vaping, whether it be video games, whether it be cooking, whether it be money, whether it be violent emails. This is the output that solves that. Every time I come home from a training session, I've got a smile on my face. And it's funny because people find out like, oh, you're too nice to be an MMA fighter. But they don't understand, I'm so nice because all of them aggressions that every human has, I get out in the training session. If I don't train, aggression will seep out somewhere. Like I say, in my diet, in how angry I get at Call of Duty. An output like MMA or any kind of martial arts is highly recommended. You don't have to want to be a world champion for that to work. You can go in once a week and find your happiness.
People who know Dan and know his upbringing know he didn't have the perfect life, and I feel like it's also become his strength in who he is today though, and like just being able to see him in the team environment, and like you look at him, he has that intensity about him now and then, but he also he has that ability where he's like always happy and grateful about where he's at, and I feel like he's found that with the sport and the lessons he's learned, and he's also been open to those lessons and to learn them, and how he's been brought up plays a part in who he is now. And I feel like I always say, life in sport, life in MMA, there's nothing more real, and that translates over.
I grew up in a place called Rochdale. I'm sure people have mixed views on Rochdale, but for me it wasn't the best. I grew up in an interesting household, quite a depressing time. I basically had no self-confidence. I had no aspirations for myself. You know, my life goal was to just have a job and have a house where I could provide for myself. I wanted to hide away from the world, found a lot of my comfort in video games, and I was just happy existing. It was probably some of the worst times of my life. I love Rochdale, it's my home, and when I went back recently, I definitely found some fondness in being in that environment, but it definitely helped me realise what I didn't want from life. There's the misfortune and sadness that I had growing up set me every tool I need to be an absolute savage, because if I can survive that, there ain't no one in that cage who's going to give me anywhere near that.
Training feel any different?
No, that's a weird part, and then no different. I guess he holds us to such a professional standard that the transitional period's easier, you know? Like anyone who comes to this gym, ask Gabe, like, fucking hell, he didn't realise he's training so hard. Training hard, isn't it? Like, you want to be pro, act like a pro. You want to be a champ, act like a champ. It's what you do every day that matters on the night, so let's do it every day. You know what I mean?
You can expect to see a dominant TKO finish. I think I'm going to sting him in the first round, and if it's not done in the first, it will be early in the second. I think my wrestling pressure and my southpaw counter-striking is going to be too much for him to handle. I train with absolute killers day in, day out. This guy is not going to know what's hit him. He doesn't know my name now, but I guarantee by the end of the fight he'll know. And so will everyone on the UK scene, because I'm coming for them. Every bantamweight you can think of, I'm coming.
Dan Hughes, the English claiming he's a Welshman. I said I got to talk about Dan, the English claims he's a Welshman. Diolch.